Hey everybody, Ryan here at etrailer. Today on our 2017 Toyota Highlander, we're going to be checking out the Kuat NV 2.0 platform style bike rack. So first impressions of the rack on the back of the Highlander, I think it looks really awesome. If you were to ask me, would I put this rack on the back of my Toyota? Absolutely, I would not hesitate. Kuat makes really good racks. They're very high quality. They look great. And one of the best parts is they're really easy to use. One of the really cool things about this one is it's more or less kind of customizable. So you can actually get an add-on and turn this into a 3-bike. And there's also a 4-bike version. And there's going to be a few different colors available as well. So you can choose which one matches your Highlander the best, or whichever one is your favorite. So with this rack, Kuat really thought things through and made it as user-friendly as possible. And one of the big things that this one does that not all platform style racks do is it lets you fold the rack down with your bikes loaded on there. So if you need to get into the back of your Highlander, you don't have to unload everything. You can just push down on that lever, flip this down, and that'll allow you to get into the back of your Toyota with relative ease and get whatever you might need in and out. But other than that, let's kind of check the rack out. At the end of each wheel tray, there's going to be an integrated lock, which is nice. You can keep your bike secured, and that way if you go to the gas station, might get a bite to eat before or after the trails, you're not going to have to constantly kind of peek outside and make sure no one ran off with them. And the way it's going to secure your bike is in 2 spots. So you're going to have a wheel hook here in the front and a strap here in the back. And this rack is especially ideal for those of you that have carbon frame bikes. There's no frame contact, so you're not going to have to jeopardize the structural integrity of your bike. But this can hold down any type of bike, honestly, whether you have a aluminum frame, carbon frame, whatever the case may be. With that said though, let's go ahead and take the bike off. So you always want to start here at the back, and you're simply just going to push down on that lever there, flip this strap up and out of the way. And then you want to make sure to grab hold of your bike, because once we undo this wheel hook, there's not going to be anything holding it down anymore. You don't want it to fall off the rack or fall into your car or anything like that. But just simply going to push this button and raise up the wheel hook, flip it down. That'll give us more than enough space to get our bike off and go hit the trails. And something we need to think about, whenever we have the rack on the back of our Highlander, it is going to extend the overall length of it. So to find out exactly how much, what I'm going to do is just measure from our bumper there to the very edge. Looks like it's going to be right at about 33 inches. So something to keep in the back of your mind. If you have a smaller garage or try to pull into a tight parking spot, something like that. And whenever you're not using the rack, it actually can be folded up to make it a little more compact. So what you're going to do, pull on that lever, fold it up, and now it hardly takes up any space really. I'll say probably the furthest point will be the knob down here. And for this one, probably be a little easier to measure like this. We'll measure from the bottom of our bumper to there. And in this position, it looks like it's only going to add about 16 inches to the back of your Toyota. So with it like this, really shouldn't give you any issues when you do go to pull into a smaller garage or that type parking spot. Something that's pretty cool that's integrated into the rack is kind of a maintenance station, all right? And that's what this arm here is. What you're going to do to use it, if you open that up, you can pull this up, lock it in, unscrew this knob, this will open up, then you can rest your bike in there and lock it down. And it's just really convenient, it kind of gets your bike up at chest level where it's a little easier to work on, so that way if you need to maybe change a tire or adjust your chain, whatever the case may be, it's up in the air and you're not on the ground trying to get those things done. So moving down here, the rack is going to work with those 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube openings like we have here today on our Highlander. And it's also going to come with a locking hitch pin, which is nice. It'll keep the rack secured to your vehicle. If you move out a little ways, this knob here on the end, what you're going to do with it, once you have the rack in the hitch, you can tighten this down, and that's going to act as an anti-rattle type device. So it's going to eliminate any slop or play there in the connection point. That way when you're going down the road, you're not going to hear, you know, this bouncing around back here. Just to kind of give you an example on how that's going to work, let's say for driving and we're hitting some bumps, you can see that the rack is going to move with our Highlander and not on its own. If you're anything like me, you always want to see the product you're interested in actually working or in action. So let's go ahead, load up a couple of bikes, take this out on the test course and see how it performs.
First we'll take it onto our slalom course. This will show you the side-to-side action, such as making turns or evasive maneuvers. Now we're at the alternating speed bumps. This will show you how it looks driving on uneven pavement or potholes. Finally, we're at the solid speed bumps, which simulates going into your driveway or parking lots.
And that'll finish up our look at of the Kuat NV 2.0 platform style bike rack on our 2017 Toyota Highlander.